Hello, my friends. How are you? Welcome to my obviously very professional studio. Today, we're going to talk about something that has been on my mind a little bit lately because you guys know I'm learning a lot from you. I only started this channel because I really dislike Donald Trump, and I'm learning a lot about the politics of our country and how things work from a lot of your guys' comments and going to look them up. And today, I have a theory, my friends, and that theory is that Donald Trump might possibly completely destroy the American economy, if not the world economy, in our next go round with him as president, because we know that day is approaching very rapidly. Can you believe it? Oh man, I remember when it felt like just a dream not that long ago. They announced the winner of the presidential race, and I said, okay, we still got time before Donald Trump is president, and boy, is that time running out. But I truly believe, from what I've looked up, from what you guys have told me, and sort of what's going on out there in the world, the things I have looked up, that Donald Trump is going to be incredibly destructive to at least the United States economy this time around, and definitely going to be really destructive to the world in general. Now, I base that on a lot of things. I really think we're about to go down a bad path. Now, there are delusional people out there, my friends, that think that under the last Donald Trump presidency, we all prospered. And that is starting to be the only proof I need that these people are in a fucking cult, because we were there. We watched it happen. We watched, there were things going on before the pandemic, things going wrong in the American economy. But when he denied the pandemic and lied to the American people, we saw a fucking lot go wrong, right? Now, in blue collar America, especially in what I do, for those of you that don't know, I'm a truck driver. A lot of people think that we prospered under Donald Trump's economy. They think that we did very well. And I'll be honest with you, I made a lot of money under Donald Trump's economy. And I made that money because Donald Trump is a complete fuck up that was screwing up life for everyone else in the country. So I know if you relate it to what I was doing, trucking, right? There's a lot of truckers out there that are 100% pro Donald Trump. Donald Trump created a great economy for us. And they're wrong about that because I guess they just don't understand. I don't even know how to explain it. Because we did make a lot of money with Donald Trump as president. That's because he's a complete dipshit that denied a pandemic that caused that pandemic to spread rapidly through the United States when we could have been taking precautions. He was lying to the American people about it, right? And the things we saw in trucking was we were able to suspend our hours of service rules, which meant we could just drive as much as we want and make as much money as we wanted. And we saw extremely high freight rates because of a number of things. A lot of truck drivers that were older and worried that they were going to get sick were they just decided to shut down and go home. The freight rates went really high because there was a lot of panic buying going on. There were some issues going on at the ports with workers. I don't remember if they did strike, but they were threatening to strike at that time, which caused a backlog at the ports with plenty of freight for us. And everything about that was really good for a truck driver, but really bad for America. And I think a lot of people forget that when they go vote. Like, you want the policies to be good for you, don't you? Of course you do. But you don't want it to be at the peril of your neighbor. And, well, some people's neighbors are assholes. I got a neighbor that's an asshole also, so I understand that. But overall, you should be looking for the entire world to be better. But when you look to blue-collar America, I feel like there's a reason they're so delusional about what happened under Donald Trump's economy, because he was fucking up a lot of things, may have led to more overtime hours and things like that, to where they thought we were actually living in a good economy. And maybe I'm being unreasonable about that, but that's the way I understood it. The point is, there are a lot of people that are incredibly misguided, delusional, believing that we lived in a good economy before, and that's why they voted for Donald Trump, and they think that he's going to do an amazing job for us again. And The thing we all need to realize is Donald Trump's kind of a dumb fuck, but he's an absolute failure when it comes to business. I've talked about this before on my channel. How do you bankrupt casinos? The literal mantra of a casino is the house always wins. Casinos walk away with more money than they lose, obviously, all the time. So you've got to be really, really bad at business to bankrupt casinos. Almost every other business that Donald Trump's been involved in is him finding ways to scam people out of their money. People like me. You know, people like me and you, blue collar America, finding ways to not pay his bills and running them through the legal system until they ran out of money so that they couldn't afford to challenge him anymore and ever see their money. I don't fucking know how that's being a good businessman, but a lot of people feel like it is. I don't really know. But as it relates to Donald Trump's upcoming presidency, now that I'm paying attention a lot more to the world, I'm listening to the things you guys tell me. Now listen, I need to be very clear about that. I'm not listening to someone type a comment and going, oh, it's a comment, I read it on the internet, they're right. I'm actually seeing the comments and going to look stuff up and then seeing what's actually going on out there. And I think we are headed for a really, really bad economy under Donald Trump for a lot of different reasons. Let me explain it from the blue-collar redneck background and why I think a lot of people from my background don't fucking understand what's going on. They truly believe that America is all-powerful and can do whatever it wants. And the thing that's going on here is Donald Trump also understands America the same way. So he is trying to be a bully on the world stage, and we're seeing that backfire. I'm starting to cross over a lot of my thoughts in my head, so let me try to do this one thing at a time. As far as people from my background understand America, we are all powerful. We can do whatever we want. We can bully the shit out of the world, and there's nothing anyone can do to us. That is literally the way I was raised, and maybe it was like that. I don't know. I don't know if things have changed, but the current world would not allow for that to happen. Listen, I was raised in a way that, it was around the time that I really started to kind of be conscious of the world around me, I guess, was in the George H.W. Bush years where we went to war with Iraq originally. One year, my friends, I am not shitting you, one year for Christmas, I got a t-shirt for Christmas. That was one of the Christmas gifts I got. And what it was, check this out for some American pride, right? It was an image of a Scud missile. A Scud missile. You remember those were the missiles we had. Was our Scuds? I'd have to recheck that name. Maybe they had the Scud missiles and we had something else. Doesn't matter. It was the American missile, whatever one we had. And it was chasing down two guys that were running across the desert riding on camels. I'm not saying I endorsed the shirt. I'm just saying I was given the shirt as a child because of American pride and America, fuck yeah. And now thinking back on it, the Scud missiles might have been Iraq's missiles. I'll look it up after the video. None of that matters. None of that matters. But we were raised in that way that America can kick the living shit out of everyone. We had Toby Keith, right? I know a lot of people were really sad about Toby Keith's passing. I'm not here to talk shit about the man. I just wasn't necessarily sad about it. This was a guy that sat in his ivory tower on his mountain of money making country songs and celebrating that poor people would go off to war. Hey, I'm not talking shit about him. I'm saying what my observation was. But that was the kind of thought process that we had. And what I'm seeing now from Donald Trump is his understanding of America is the exact same thing as that low information voter that comes from rural America. He does not understand that we're not as powerful as we think we are. And yes, it's nice to live in a very powerful country. Of course, there's benefits to that, obviously. But I don't think that we're anywhere near as powerful as we are. So Donald Trump comes out here with his chest puffed up and he's going to do all these crazy things, right? He's going to, the dumb bastard, the dumb son of a bitch, he's going to come out here and he's going to annex Canada. They're going to be our 51st state, right? He's going to, I guess we're planning to take over Greenland. Sorry, Greenland, Denmark, whoever's in charge over there. I don't personally endorse that. I feel like it may be just some, I don't know, some I don't know the word for it right off the top of my head, but some blowhard shit. He's just trying to be a big tough guy, and that's what I really think he's doing. And yes, when you think about it, that would obviously be a very good strategic move. But it's really bad when America, I mean, starts going down the strategic path of what can we take over to give us a better foothold on the world. I think we're in bad shape when we start doing that. So obviously, from a strategic point of view, yeah, that'd be a good move for us. But I got to be honest with you guys, a lot of America doesn't endorse that. We think that you should have your own countries, and we shouldn't be fucking with that, of course. But we've got some lunatics over here too that are definitely jumping on the Greenland bandwagon. And it's disgusting. It really is. We got, what else do we got? Oh, fucking Christ. My friends, help me out with this one. Now we're going to name the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, and said in only the way that Donald Trump can say it, my friends. It's such a beautiful name. It's such a beautiful name because he's so upset that it's called the Gulf of Mexico. Is this similar to Freedom Fries? Or I'm not really sure. It's goofy is what it is. And of course, he has talked his fair share of shit to Mexico. You will have to forgive me. I do not remember the president of Mexico's name right now. I probably should have looked it up, but once I started rambling, I would have forgotten anyways. I am happy to see her standing up for Mexico, and it makes me fucking sick that my leaders in America are putting me in a place where I have to say, look, I'm proud of other countries that are standing up against our bully future president. That shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be a thing that's going on, but it is. But I'm proud of her for standing up to Donald Trump. I think more world leaders are going to do it, and it's unfortunate, but I endorse that. I think they should be standing up to Donald Trump because he is nothing but a fucking bully. We don't need to expand our borders. We don't need to take over other countries. That's fucking goofy. It's silly, and it proves that Donald Trump isn't the businessman that he says he is. Look, if Donald Trump is the businessman that he says he is, then start making deals with these countries. What are you talking about taking over for? Make a deal, right? Because it did happen after Donald Trump met with Justin Trudeau. That's when or during that meeting is when he said we could turn Canada into the 51st state. To me, in my mind, that proves that Donald Trump is not any kind of deal maker whatsoever. He knew he wasn't going to make the deal with the tariffs that he thought he was going to make, the tariffs, the big, beautiful tariffs, right? And so he just decided, you know what, we'll just take over Canada because I'm too weak to make that deal. Canada, I don't know much about you. I do not. So forgive me if I misunderstand what I'm seeing. What I understand is Justin Trudeau has resigned. I'm going to be very honest with you. From the stories that I saw, how Donald Trump told Justin Trudeau, we're going to annex Canada and make it the 51st state, and Justin Trudeau laughed about it. If that story's correct, I found Justin Trudeau to be very unimpressive, to be very weak in that moment, and we don't have time for that. The rest of the world doesn't have time for that. But congratulations to the Mexican president for standing her ground. One thing that bothered me about that, my friends, is she resorted to internet trolling to do it. I don't blame her. I 100% blame Donald Trump for that. He has drugged down world politics to a level that they're no better than internet trolls at this point. Because she was talking shit to Donald Trump about the different things we could do to America if Mexico was to start taking over things. And I appreciate her standing up. I even appreciate her meeting Donald Trump at his level in a way that only he'll understand. But it makes me sad that that's what our global leaders have to go to sink to get through to Donald Trump. But what I think is happening, or what I think is going to happen, because of listening to you guys and following up on your comments and going to read things, I think I have a better understanding. I don't want to tell you guys I know more than you. That's not the fucking point of this channel. As a matter of fact, I think I've learned more than you've learned from me, if I'm being honest. But I think that Here's what was said to me that started this video. Maybe I should have started there. I talked about in a video how I was worried that Donald Trump actually was going to start World War III because he's out there trying to bully the whole world. I know all the red hat dorks are out there saying Biden's starting World War III because he's defending Ukraine. Dumbest shit I've ever heard. Dumb fucking take. Okay? But what's actually happening is Donald Trump may actually start World War III. And I was expressing my concerns with that, to which one of you lovely commenters responded that World War III against America will not be fought with the military, it will be fought economically. And I had to stop and think about that for a minute. And from my understanding of how the world works and how America works, I think that is a very, very valid way to attack America. Now, I'm not promoting it. I'm not saying that's something that should happen. But once I sat there and thought about it, look, we don't manufacture a whole lot. We are worried about being crippled as an economy when the ports go on strike. So think about that. Americans felt like they weren't getting a good enough wage, so they go on strike at the ports, and you start getting the news, the media saying, hey, if this goes on for like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, we are going to be looking at a real economic problem. And all that does is point out to me how easy it is to make America's economy come to a grinding fucking halt. So while Donald Trump is out there trying to be the bully of the world, the tough guy, and tell everybody that they're just going to fall in line, I don't know how to feel about this, my friends, because America will not stand up to Donald Trump. But we've got some world leaders out there that are going to, and is that what it's going to fucking take? It might, because these Lindsey Graham, Jim Jordan pussies over here, I just got demonetized, oh well, whatever, they're not going to stand up. They're just not fucking going to. And they know they're wrong. J.D. Vance knows he's wrong, and they're not going to stand up. And it's almost to a point now where we're going to need other world leaders to step up and do it. And once I started thinking about that with our ports, how much things we import, how China's trying to increase its position in the globe, its power position. You guys get what I'm trying to say? Its power in the globe. You guys understand. There's a lot of things going on where basically I think the world could just kind of starve us out and just kill us economically in a way that almost needs to fucking happen, as long as Donald Trump's going to continue to try to bully the world. And we don't deserve it, right? Most of us normal, rational Americans don't deserve that. But it's what's about to happen. Can you believe it? And I felt like there was a lot of merit to that. There was a lot of merit to the person telling me that. And it goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the video. A lot of people from rural America believe that America can just get out there and just stomp a mud hole in everyone's ass, right? And there's nothing no one can do about it. And I think that we are quickly going to find out how wrong we were about that. But I feel sad about it because I'm obviously going to be on the receiving end of that. My family's going to be on the receiving end of that. I would say my friends, but I don't fucking have any because I'm always busy being a trucker. Just kidding. You guys are my friends. That's why I start the videos off that way. We don't necessarily deserve it, but the country as a whole at this point might deserve it. Somebody out there is going to need to put America in check, because we have all seen what happens in the world when a single person thinks that they're bigger than they are. When they get a little bit big for their britches, we find out who the fuck they really are, and it's never, ever ended good for anyone. It eventually ended good because other countries stepped up to take care of a problem, but it's been full of heartbreak and tragedy along the way while we were waiting for that problem to be solved. And I don't know how to fucking feel about this, guys. We're supposed to be patriotic. We're supposed to love our country, and I do love my country. It's afforded me opportunities, obviously, but I can't just stand by and celebrate while a wannabe dictator wants to push around first the American citizens with half of the voting population saying, fuck yeah, I want to be shit on by this guy, which is crazy. But I can't necessarily sit here and say this is wrong when the rest of the world steps up and says that we need to be put in our place. I can't be mad at them. So at this point, I think all that's left for Americans is just to take our fucking lumps and say we deserve this, we had it fucking coming, when the rest of the world finds ways to fuck us over. Because it almost feels like they should at this point. You think I like saying that? I don't like it even a little bit. So anyways, I guess to summarize the video, I think we are much more vulnerable to the rest of the world than a lot of Americans realize we are. I think that Donald Trump with his little saber rattling is going to push other world leaders to show us how vulnerable we are. And the most infuriating, frustrating part about all of it is Donald Trump will turn around and blame Joe Biden. Fox News will turn around and blame Joe Biden, and a bunch of brainwashed assholes out there will turn around and blame Joe Biden as Donald Trump continues to fuck over our country and the world in the process. And it is absolutely mind-blowing that in a world of nearly 8 billion people, the entire world is focused on the actions of one man and what he's going to do. We have severely fucked up somewhere, and we as Americans have severely fucked up because it was the vision of this country to never let one man have too much power. And here the fuck we are. One man has way too much power. On top of that, this country may have way too much power because of, in conjunction, is that the right word? With this one man having too much power. And it's almost going to take a world response to, I would say, get his attention and get him to chill the fuck out. He's not going to respond to that. He's still going to think we're the greatest thing ever. So I guess to wrap up the video, whatever we got coming, we might fucking deserve it at this point. Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed your weekend. Bye now.